Every woman should be able to do a pull-up. I made that statement, and yes, I knew I was being slightly controversial in how definitive it is, but I was oddly surprised by the pushback I ultimately got from it. And so it made me want to really dive into why I made that statement, why I think there was such pushback, and how we can slightly flip the script, because I don't think this should be as controversial as it actually was. And I also want to discuss how you can build up to doing that first full pull-up if that is a goal of yours. Now, before I dive into everything, please go follow, leave a review. It helps me spread the podcast love, get these tips out there to more people. Really appreciate it. Love reading all the different comments and feedback that you guys have, because it also helps me provide more resources and information to help you really rock those fitness results. Now, going back to my statement of every woman should be able to do a pull-up. I think pull-ups are an incredibly tough move. I think there are lots of different circumstances that will make movements not right for us, not part of our goals. I don't even think that every woman should necessarily care about being able to do one. And if you don't care about a goal, you're not going to work towards it. But my point with saying that was that I feel like pull-ups especially are a very tough move that from a very early age, women especially write themselves off from being able to do. But they are a move that if we regress to progress, if we really break them down, if we have that as our main focus, we can build up strength to achieve. And too often we are limiting ourselves. We are saying we can't do something without ever trying to. Or we almost use pull-ups as like this test. Oh, I tried one, I couldn't do it, therefore I won't ever be able to. And so much of what is possible for us in life is really what we decide we're even gonna be able to attempt. And so I wanna flip the script. Now, I wanna talk about why I feel like there's so much doubt and disbelief that we'll be able to achieve pull-ups. Because while people did, come up and they even made a comment that I was shaming because, there's injuries, aches and pains, different, abilities, and there are. And I don't think that every move will be right for every person. However, I so often think and I've seen it countless times of clients who said, I'll never be able to do one, actually achieve one because they put their mind to it. They put in the skill work, they consistently work towards it. Because that's also even something, we don't do the consistent work towards it. But I feel like this belief has come about because we weren't taught to believe that anything is possible for ourselves. We weren't taught to pursue discomfort, to push our comfort zone. We're constantly taught and reinforced limitations. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, this type of person generally can't do this. Instead of ever questioning. And it always brings me back to the story of the elephant and the rope. Elephants at a very young age are tied up by this rope, and they cannot break this rope because they are not strong enough at that age. But as they get bigger, they still feel limited and still believe they are limited by this rope. And they never actually again test the rope to see if they can now break it, even though they could easily snap it, especially as they get older. Same thing happens for us. We have one person tell us we're not good at something, we can't do something. Maybe we tested even, just dead hang strength in high school. I remember those tests. I wasn't even asked to do a pull-up. I was just asked to dead hang, and that was told to me as what I should be able to do. I shouldn't be able to do one. It wasn't expected that I could. And so there's these limitations that just appear. Maybe it's other people's beliefs about themselves, and so they put them on us, but we never, ever test them. And then often when we do test them, we go right to the end goal we should be at. Of course we're not there. We've never worked up to it. We've never built it. I've even had people who are in bodybuilding come up to me and say, well, I'm really strong, I can't do one. Okay, but have you worked on some of these other elements? Lifting and bodyweight movements are completely different. We never put in the work to build up, and then we say we can't just because we can't right now. And again, I understand that injuries, aches and pains, different abilities will dictate what we are capable of and will restrict and limit certain things. But so often just saying, well, what if I could prove it was possible? What if I met myself where I am right now with some of the skill work that could lead to it, but will also help my current circumstance? Why not put it on the table? Why not be open to the possibility? Why not reframe things like that as that, right? Why not say, hey, pull-ups aren't really about pull-ups. Like that statement wasn't really about pull-ups. It was about believing in our capacity to do more, our capability to do more. It was also about recognizing that there is a certain use it or lose it situation we are in as we get older. And so often I see people writing themselves off more and more from these strength accomplishments or strength feats as they get older, because they say, I couldn't do one when I was younger, so how am I going to be able to do one when I'm older? But when have you put in the work to do it? And if we don't try and keep using that strength and address some of the postural distortions that actually make pull-ups harder, if we don't try and do the grip work, which is so valuable to our muscle mass, our longevity, if we don't try and do these things that build up towards that, we're never going to be strong. We're going to lose some of our independence. We're going to lose some of the things that we really care about. We're going to lose our capacity, our capability. So in stating that, it was all about the opportunity in trying to build up. Because I can tell you that pull-ups are a hard move, but they're not just a strength exercise. They are actually an exercise that is really dictated by our postures. And a lot of times I see people becoming more and more limited in their ability to achieve them because of desk job aches and pains. But a lot of the work that we can do to build up to pull-ups will actually alleviate the aches and pains we see, that hunched, rounded forward posture that we get more and more as we get older. All the different things with neck, shoulder, elbow, all those injuries that we see add up will be addressed if we do the work to even build up towards those pull-ups. So why not set that as the goal? Why not believe we have that capability? Why not say, as I get older, I want to be stronger and fitter and more independent? And so now even diving specifically into pull-ups, not just what this represents, in that video, when I actually said that, and I can tell where people stopped watching in that video, because I go into 5 ways to build up if you're just starting out. So I am recognizing that it is a very hard move, that yes, you have to want this goal and do strategic, clear, progressive work to achieve it, right? It can't just be things you randomly add in here or there, unless you're naturally gifted them, which we all do have different natural inclinations. But it was all about breaking it down to meet ourselves where we're at. And I had a lot of people with injuries even saying, I can't do one because of injury. Well, guess what? If you do a lot of the work to build up, you'll actually be surprised by how many injuries and aches and pains it addresses. Because pull-up work requires a strong back, yes, but that mind-body connection to have scapular control and thoracic extension. 2 things we really lose because of injuries, but because of our desk job postures. So you want to work on that scapular control. That means your shoulder blades should be able to move towards your spine. They should be able to go down towards your butt. Yes, you should even be able to elevate them and even round them forward, right? But we lose some of these movements. And so a lot of what I work on with clients is to get that scapular control back to engage their back, whether it's with single arm scapular push-ups, mini pull-ups, pull-up holds, scapular wall holds. It's all this activation work, which again helps with their posture. It helps alleviate and reduce neck, shoulder, upper back aches and pains, even elbow aches and pains, because your shoulder is stable. But that scapular work really pays off for aches and pains, especially improved posture, which helps us as we get older. And then it also helps build up those pull-ups, right? So it's regressing and progressing, meeting ourselves where we're at. So again, having that ultimate goal is paying off in those different ways. It's doing the mobility work. It's rolling out your chest because it can become tight, which restricts how your back is engaging. It's rolling out your lats to make sure that they actually are able to engage in the way that they should. So it's working on the scapular movement from the 3-part prehab process of foam rolling, stretching, and then that activation I already mentioned. But again, this is improving your posture. If we improve our posture, if we improve our thoracic extension, so our spinal extension, the ability to extend back, right? Not just round forward, but extend back. That's going to help your elbow, your shoulder. And I say elbow because we often ignore that, but even our wrists, right? We can do a lot of mobility work. And if we're improving our wrist mobility, our elbows are often healthier and happier, because a lot of times where the actual ache and pain isn't even where the problem started. It's definitely cumulative overload. So breaking down some of those things, you want to think about, how can I do that foam rolling to improve, my scapular mobility? How can I open up my chest because I'm spending so much time rounded forward? How can I work on that spinal extension? And doing all this mobility work, which has nothing to do with the actual strength component of it, is so important for building up. And again, this is about showing ourselves what we're capable of. And in doing all these things, you're going to start to feel stronger. You're going to start to believe more is possible. But you have to believe in the first place that something is possible for you, because otherwise you're going to doom yourself with doubt. So you're doing this mobility work. And then yes, you want to include vertical pulling exercises. You can do lat pull downs. You can do lat push downs with the cable machine. You can do band versions. You can do pullovers with the dumbbell. But you want to start working on that strength, but you have to recognize it's more than just strength. But all of this only becomes possible because we have the mindset that we are capable of more. So I really do want to bust that belief of letting anything limit us. I'm not unrealistic. I know my limitations. I'm not even going to necessarily say, I'm not going to compete in the Olympics right now in anything. I'm not going to run a 4-minute mile. Those just aren't things that I have the capacity to do, but I'm also not going to say that I can't run faster. And I might even say, hey, why not strive for that 4-minute mile? And I don't mean that in the ridiculous way of even being silly with it, but it's more just saying, why not believe more is possible? Set that goal beyond. Say, hey, okay, right now, yes, a pull-up is not doable for me. I've tested it. I can't do it. But I'm going to put it on something as I'm shooting for the moon with this thing. I'm going to believe that I have the capacity as a human being to do this and to see how far I can build my strength up. And I really want that to be the message from all of this. And as I said, I was so surprised by how many people push back against this belief. And I think it's also because I get it. Like, it makes us feel bad if we can't achieve something that's supposed to be possible for everybody. But instead of seeing it that way, say, hey, maybe this isn't my priority. Maybe this isn't my goal. But if it is something that you do have that little itch to do, say, it is possible for me. Let me see what work I can do for it. But let's stop limiting ourselves. Let's stop dooming ourselves with doubt. Let's stop letting other people's beliefs of what's possible or even what's a valid goal dictate what we're going to seek to achieve. So while I understand that it was very controversial, I do understand the very binary nature of that statement because it's not that simple. Everything is more nuanced. Instead of seeing when someone says everybody should be able to do this or this is possible or use it or lose it, like I even say explosive training should be done by everybody. Okay, it's not going to be done in one form, but how can I see the opportunity in this option to help myself move forward? Love to hear your thoughts on, limitations you're putting on yourself, how you're trying to bust those beliefs and really see what else is possible for yourself, how you're trying to age strong by even opening up opportunities that you didn't necessarily feel were there when you were younger, because it really is a case of use it or lose it, meet ourselves where we are right now to move forward to build our leanest, strongest body at any age, because it is possible. It is possible. Feel phenomenal, be strong, age on our terms.